Hi. Welcome to the
Hi.
Goth Next Door.
Welcome back.
Hello.
So happy to see you all.
Should I introduce myself?
Yes.
Yes, you should.
I'm Angela and Deb.
I'm Melissa Morbid.
I'm Sasha Massacre.
I'm Shayzilla. And this is Mamie Hades. Hi.
Our beautiful special guest for the night that we are so incredibly stoked to have here.
This is so exciting. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. So you were telling us
Thank you so much for coming.
you always wanted to be on a podcast. Like tell us about that.
I was literally saying that to them a few minutes ago, but I've really always wanted to be on a podcast. That's like almost if it makes sense, like a kind of like a career goal. Like it was one of my things. Like I've appeared in a few, alternative magazines. I have over 100K on TikTok. So these are like milestones for me. And just, being featured on a podcast was just something that I really wanted to do just because I'm very passionate about podcasts. I think they're a lot of fun. And I don't know, it kind of also just feels like you've, somewhat made it in your own little niche corner of the internet. And it's nice that there are kind of like-minded and supportive people. Just because, I don't know, I didn't really have that. Like where I grew up, I knew one other goth person. And I mean, now I live in a city, so that's different. But I'm just, really thankful to be here. And I guess I'll sort of introduce myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am a published independent model, meaning I've appeared in publications, but I am not signed to any agencies. I make YouTube videos. I make TikTok videos. I make spicy content. Just gonna throw that out there because it really does help me eat and stuff and pay for stuff. But so I do a lot of things, but primarily like model and content creator. I'm trying to be more active on my YouTube. I've been good about that recently. Sometimes life gets hard, but yeah.
I put your YouTube in the chat and your Twitch in the chat.
Yes.
I gotta bring up your TikTok next and drop it in the chat. I'm gonna be looking those up in the background and dropping them in there.
Nice.
We're so excited. We have a whole list of questions we want to go through. I think we sent them all ahead of time, so
Yes.
yay! I feel like
I'm
I
just
don't know why
texting
I'm
my
so nervous. I shouldn't be nervous.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm just excited. Like I feel like if I was a dog, my tail would be wagging. Like I have that sensation.
Same.
I'd have the red rocket.
I was gonna say that, but I was kind of trying to keep it PG. Angela. You said what I was thinking.
All
Okay,
right.
well that's a great transition. Angela, did you want to start?
So
the first
now we're
question?
rolling to the questions.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
So tell us about your career path.
So currently I'm a cosmetologist. I have not said this anywhere except here right now, but I am considering maybe doing cosmetology part-time and potentially bartending as like a full-time thing.
Ooh, you should.
I am considering going to school for that. And my boyfriend's like, you don't have to go to school for it, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like you could probably learn some stuff there. There's 2 of them in Philly, so I figured,
Why not?
why not, and but I'm a cosmetologist, so I mainly specialize in hair. I mean, I can do makeup, but currently my job is hair. So cutting, dyeing, styling, all of those things. And I went to school for it. I'm licensed in my state for it. But I would say what I'm kind of most passionate about is just like making videos and modeling. If I could model as a full-time job, I would 100% do it. But realistically, with creative things, you can only kind of do so much. But yeah.
Right.
Cosmetologist is my answer. Cosmetologist and part-time content creator is my answer.
Cosmic
I
Amy is
follow
so
you.
creative.
You're a full-time content creator. I follow you. You pump out content. Don't cut yourself short. You're a
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to do better about that. I mean,
you
like,
put out a lot.
I have a lot of downtime right now, and so I'm and I might not, if I get a new job at a different place, I might not have that same amount of downtime. But I'm hoping I'm still able to, make when I can.
I mean, I feel like I see a lot of bartenders and stuff that still create content while they're at work bartending, like even when they're on breaks. Like, I mean, I know that's crazy. I don't have the energy for that, but I mean, I feel like content is content, And I feel like, especially with your style and your look, people will just fucking eat it up because you're fucking cool. Like, come on. Who doesn't want to see a hot goth bitch make drinks?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to see that.
Exactly.
But I was thinking that, and it's funny because I was thinking about maybe not entirely shifting away from cosmetology, but just kind of doing something new, like
It's variety.
Yeah.
Add a little bit of seasoning.
Right. And you can still, if you're licensed, you can still do hair and makeup on the side, like paid gigs, so it doesn't really matter.
Hell yeah.
And I'm fully to keep my license. Like when it expires, I'm not just gonna say, oh, okay, that was years down the drain. I'm gonna get it reinstated so I can still do it. Like I'll do services at home sometimes, like for my friends, like discounted. And I don't think I'm ever gonna stop doing that just because the little DIY in me absolutely loves just doing my friend's hair bright red in my kitchen at like 8 p.m. on a Monday.
I mean, you seem like a very creative soul at heart, and cosmetology is creativity.
So creative.
And if I went through all that and I got a cosmetology license, I'd probably do the same thing. But that's another thing. Like, who wouldn't want their hair done by somebody as cool as you?
Right. Thank you.
And like,
Amen.
It's sick.
I think my mom texted me. I would be referring to her as Mama Hades.
Mama Hades, I love it.
I love it.
Hi, Mama.
She's here.
Yay.
The one who made me. It's very funny. She had blue hair in high school and like a pierced nose.
Holy shit.
And half sleeves. And then my dad was Army. So there was a disconnect. I definitely got my mom's creativity. Just because, I don't know, he kind of gets it. Like, he likes Black Flag, he likes the Misfits, he likes Johnny Cash, but, like, he never like, lived that life.
Yep.
My mom likes The Cure. My grandma has, like, this story where they went to New York City to see, like, my grandma's friend, and my mom, like, teased her hair and wore eyeliner and had like ripped black fishnets and just had been like binge listening to The Cure, and I'm like, I get it from somewhere.
You have to.
That's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that leads us into our second question. Melissa.
Oh, yes.
Oh, shoot.
Let me pull that up.
That was like a perfect transition. Oh my god. Also, I want to meet your mom one day.
Oh, she's great. I
Same.
mean, if I know she's watching this, but if she's maybe comfortable being in a vlog the next time she visits my city, or I could do her makeup or something, that would be really fun.
Dude, hell yeah.
That would be, maybe not even goth necessarily, but I've done her makeup like very kind of like neutral for dinner.
That's so cool.
But I would love to do that. I feel like I would have to bribe my dad or hold him at, like, I don't know if I can say the word on Twitter. For him
Force him.
I feel like he would be like, oh no, everyone at my work is gonna see this or something.
Put your dad in some glam.
Yes, and he would just be me in drag. Like, we look bad so
That's how I feel with my dad.
Same. I literally have my father's face.
Yassified Jim.
What did
But-
you just break?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
That sounded
Don't
like
worry about it.
laugh.
Hi. And then I
I-
think my
nothing
very
broke, I
long-time
just spilled.
internet friend Shane might be here. We've literally known each other for like bands that we like since I was like 16 or something.
Oh my god.
So I think he's in here. If he isn't, he'll.
Oh my
he'll
god, I
join
love
soon.
that.
But he's in England, so it's very late over there. So
Oh
if he
damn.
doesn't join, it's not the end of the world. But
Have you been to England?
I have twice, 2016 and 2017, and my mom and I have friends over there. One of which he has kids now. We haven't really met the kids yet because it's expensive to go over there, but I would love to go back to London. I've been to London, and then my mom took me to Tock because she's a big photography nerd, and that's where this guy, you can Google it, William Henry Fox Talbot, very long, old-timey name. He took, I think, like the first like photograph ever or something at this abbey, and we got to go to the window that was the original subject of the photo, which was really cool. And it was kind of a photography museum too, and it was really cool. I'm not like a photography nerd or anything, but I thought it was still really cool. And that was a couple years ago. That was 2017, which doesn't feel as long ago as it actually was. But I always forget, like, oh gosh, it's 2023, and that was 2020 was 3 years ago already.
Dude, I every day I go on Facebook and I get Facebook memories, and I got one from 2018 and it was like 5 years ago today. And I'm like, there's no fucking way 2018 was 5 years ago. Like that.
It does not feel like it at all.
It's been bothering me all day, to be quite honest. Like, I am not okay with it. Oh my god, the Wiener guy's back.
I have
love
been
Hell yeah.
to the London dungeon.
The London dungeon.
Yeah, it was really sick. I wore like a big long velvet skirt. It was awesome. Like full goth. It was
I
amazing.
have to see that fit.
I wish I had
Yes.
it. But
Oh,
next time I go to London, like I definitely intend on wanting to go back. Like I definitely want to, maybe do a shoot over there and just vlog most of the time while I'm there.
you
And
totally
go to Camden
should.
Town again. Like if I could live anywhere in the world for free, it would be Camden Town in London, just because it's like, she is that girl. It's so good. What is the chat penis? I'm really.
It appeared during our last stream, and I guess it's making its I'm okay with it. I personally think it's funny.
Oh.
The chat-
I love it.
I blocked him, so he can't come back.
Showing up on my
No, Shay!
I gotta block the chat penis. I'll leave. the
Come on
penis,
now.
But I blocked. The
Come on now.
I blocked. The
They
I'll leave the
probably
penis.
did film part
That's
of
the only action I get, Shay.
I know. I'm so sorry. Digital letdown.
Depriving me.
Someone please clip that out. Well, that's it.
Shay said
The
cock
next
block.
question is, how long have you been a goth or been involved in the goth subculture?
So I got into like alternative music when I was 12. And then specifically goth music at 13. Like I found Bauhaus and the Sisters of Mercy, and I started watching like goth YouTubers, and it's really bonkers to me that like I like pretty frequently get messages from people saying like, thank you, like your content helped me, get into the goth subculture. You helped me find some of my favorite bands. Because I'm not trying to sound like a hater or mean or anything, but there are a lot of like goth type influencers out there who do next to nothing when it comes to talking about goth music or what the subculture is, and it's really just like, hey guys, watch me unbox $500 worth of clothing.
Yeah.
And that's about as far as it goes. And I did notice that Goth YouTube, like even, and I'm not gonna name names, but like even some YouTubers that I really love, it just kind of became like unboxing and stuff.
They really
Or trying on clothes, which I love. I love fashion. I love clothes. I have a lot. Just ask my boyfriend. But
yeah, right?
you know, I just really did see I did see sort of a decline in like the type of goth content that I really kind of wished was out there. So, you know, I make goth band recommendation videos. I made a video on my YouTube channel where I kind of explain, you know, what is goth? You know, where did the subculture begin? And, you know, stuff like that. And I intend to kind of make more sort of somewhat educational but fun content. Just because I think in a digital age and because of, and I don't want to sound like a hater, but because of, you know, kind of the modern kind of taking alternative and goth things in mainstream fashion, which is fine. I don't care. Wear whatever the hell you want, dress how you want, do your makeup how you want, but like, you know, don't say that you're goth just because you know, you wear black lipstick, because it's so much more to that, and you don't even have to wear makeup to be goth, you know, but that sort of like, I don't know if commodification is the word I'm necessarily looking for.
I feel like it is. I feel like that's a very good word.
Yeah, and it becomes hot, and then it's at, like in 2020 especially, it was really hot, and then it sort of fizzled out, and then now people are getting like genuinely bullied again, which is not cool. But you know, when I was a baby bat growing up in, you know, kind of a suburb in coastal Georgia, there weren't any other goth kids at my school. There weren't any goth kids who came before me at my high school or at my middle school. You know, we had one girl who was, you know, like a little bit alternative, but they'd never kind of dealt with a goth before, so they didn't know what to do with me. It was quite funny, honestly, because there would be things in the dress code where it would say, no this, no that, you can wear this, you can't wear that. And I was like, okay. And I was always good about following the dress code despite looking the way that I, you know, look. But, you know, like with skirt length and not wearing tank tops and stuff like that, like I wasn't doing any of that, which I think is stupid, to be fair. You know, it kind of just tells girls especially from an early age, that their bodies are objects, or that they are supposed to be sexualized, which is not okay. And they would say, oh, I remember one time they dress coded me because I drew on my eyebrows like too pointy, I guess. And I was like, y'all are pulling things out of your asses at this point. Excuse my language.
Ridiculous.
That's
so ridiculous.
I had a very.
Oh my god, my mom.
Your mom.
Mamie Hades. Remember when you got in trouble for distracting hair? That too, and it was black. It wasn't like I dyed it neon green, which is fine. You should be able to do that. But you know, like they would just get on my ass about pretty much everything. And something that is really sweet to me is a few months ago, I got a DM on Instagram in my request photo, my request folder, excuse me, of somebody who went to my high school, my small high school. And they were like, hey, you know, like they said something like, you know, I'm sure you get a lot of messages, but I just wanted to let you know that, you know, I found out that, you know, you used to go to the high school that I'm at, and like I'm alternative, and I think they said that they were maybe like also bisexual. My school was very kind of anti-LGBT, and they were saying, you know, like I've been watching your videos and like, you know, scrolling for your feed, and I just kind of wanted to say like thank you, because we don't have that here, and I wasn't allowed to look the way that I look now at school. I was allowed to do, you know, all black. I was allowed to wear nails. I had to fight to keep a nose stud in. That was a very real thing that I had to do. And there was a blonde girl who had one who wasn't, you know, alternative in the slightest. And I was like, well, why does she get to have hers, but I can't have mine? That doesn't make any sense.
For real.
The college admissions woman at my high school was like, oh, well, hers is stuck. She said she can't take hers out.
Oh my god.
My school did the same exact
Bullshit.
shit to me, and it pissed me off. It pissed me off because my school, they were like, oh, you can't wear makeup. Like, I wore eyeliner to school once, and they were like, oh, well, you can't wear makeup. And I pointed at this other girl who, you know, is very normal, very girly, but I was like, she wears blue eyeshadow and false lashes and like way more makeup than me. And they were like, oh, well, hers is very, you know, soft and pretty. And I was like, thanks. But they do the same thing over like tank tops and shorts and stuff. And I'm like, it's 110 degrees outside. It's fucking hot. But why is it that she gets to wear spaghetti strap tank tops and booty shorts in like 5th grade, but I can't wear a skirt that's like an inch above, you know, whatever the rule was? And they were like, oh, well, you know, she's shorter than you. You're tall, so it's more obvious. And I was like, okay, like it's just stupid how schools treat alternative people, you know. And it's sad. And you know, when I moved to where I've been living for the last 6 years, alternatives are very common. So like any alternative people that I've known that have grown up out here, like they never had to deal with any of that because it was just like more normal. But where I was at in like a small town, it's like same as you. Like I was the only alternative. I was the only emo. I was the only goth. Like, so it was just kind of like freaky to them, which is so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's funny though, because like I hate people who sound like they're bragging or tooting their own horn or whatever, but it's really funny because like for somebody who graduated at 18 and is 21 now, I have more going for me than literally everybody who bullied me.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, last time I heard about this one kid who was, I don't think I can say this word, but he was a supremacist of a certain kind. He was the main person who bullied me, and last I heard of him, he had developed a really, again, I don't think I can say this on Twitch, but a really bad habit while we were still in high school after he got kicked out of my high school. My mom wants to know, is there any way to contribute to these amazing women on this platform? Do y'all have a Patreon?
Oh my gosh, your mom!
They have a Patreon. So that's like a way you can support them.
So
it's like a monthly
I just dropped it in the chat.
And
Do
they
you
also
have a
do
Patreon? Can we drop your
for a
Patreon?
while, and I had like 2 patrons, and I just decided to like not do it. But if I did have enough, I guess, want for one, like maybe if I started a podcast, I think that would be cool. Because even if it's like a $1 or $2 a month one, you can get equipment for that.
Exactly, it adds up.
Okay, I could send you the link to their Patreon, Mom. And you can see.
Your mom is so cute.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, just put it in the
I love your mom so much.
My
I love
heart.
her
I
so much.
also
She's
just
very
put-
supportive.
I put your TikTok in there, so everyone make sure you're following her on TikTok. And make sure you're following on YouTube. I dropped the YouTube in there too, and I'm going to do it again.
Instagram, yeah, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
I'll bring up your Instagram too. Listen, I'm a link queen.
I like Twitter too. Twitter's very fun to me.
All right, I'm going to bring that one up too. I'm just going to keep dropping your links in every once in a while. So if you
All
see me
right.
distracted,
Yeah, y'all
that's
better
what
follow.
I'm doing. Sasha, do you want to go with the next question?
Yes, actually, what we were just talking about flows right into it. So, what exactly can you tell us about the early days, like your baby bat days? Like when you really started discovering yourself, you know what I mean?
For like my makeup, I kind of found what I like to do when I was about 15. And then kind of 2020, I started doing the huge inner corner thing. And I don't really know where it came from. One day I just did them really big and I was like, I like that. I'm rolling with
That's
that.
good.
Thank you. I was like, you don't see it.
It's like your trademark at this point, I
It
feel
kind
like.
of is. I'm like, I don't like not doing it. It makes my face feel weird. But I kind of got into the like, kind of, you know, beehive hair, big eyelash, drawn on eyebrow, big lip, big eye, blush, pale face thing when I was like 15. But I started playing around with goth makeup when I was 13. When I was 12, I got like my first foundation from like Walgreens. So it was kind of just like
Oh
a
my god, I love that.
linear thing for me. But I remember my first makeup brushes were Harley Quinn makeup brushes from Hot Topic.
Aw.
And I had like a shitty smoky eye palette from there, I believe. And that's just kind of how I rolled. And the only country that matters is Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline. Don't forget Dolly
Period.
Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Can't forget her. I'm
Period.
Dolly Parton dark mode. Somebody told me one time that I look like if Dolly Parton got turned into a vampire, that like this is where we would be at.
Have you made merch? I want you to make merch that says Dolly Parton Dark
I
Mode.
got a
I would
report.
buy that shirt.
Dark
I
mode
got a
Dolly.
request from a merch company to make merch, and one of the artists, I'm not going to say who this is, but I am mutuals with them, and they kind of had something that they already drew up, but it wasn't really of me. It was just of like a demon girl, and I was like, that's cool and all, but like it doesn't look like me, so I can't put that on merch, you know?
Yeah.
And then a friend of mine who's also a mutual of mine, he did a sketch, but I don't know. I would eventually like to maybe sell shirts or stickers, but I would definitely
You
need
should.
the right artist to do it. I get a lot of really awesome fan art, so if anybody watching this has ever drawn me, thank you. I always share it on my Instagram. But yeah, what is the question again? My brain is not braining.
Just baby bat days, I think.
Oh, baby bat days. I remember like I found like Bauhaus and the Sisters of Mercy, and my boyfriend and I are seeing the Sisters of Mercy in June, which doesn't even feel real.
Oh my
We're like,
god.
the venue, I'm gonna be so. It wasn't. I think it was like 190 something for 2 tickets, which
Oh, that's
is
not
much
bad.
These
better.
days, that's not terrible.
Mom, if you're watching this, can I go see Depeche Mode?
Stop.
Dude.
$5 for
but
2
it's
people.
so
It's like 300 for 2 people.
So expensive.
It's
Oh,
like
man.
300 for one person where I am.
I would rather just go to another convention again, because there's another supernatural convention, and I went to one in August, but I'm a rabid fangirl, and I will try to. There's one in Jersey in like April.
You're like, I need to go.
I kind of want to drag my boyfriend, but I don't think he would know what was happening. But he's been making me watch like all of Star Wars, so in turn, I am going
That's
to.
payback.
See, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, what do you think of Star Wars?
Oh, I like it. I liked the older movies the most. The Mandalorian is pretty good. That's what we're currently on. Austin's very smart, so he is making me watch it in canonical order instead of like when it was released.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
how
don't
you
know.
gotta do it.
Great. Carrie Fisher was such a queen.
I can't even watch them without crying.
Right.
Like
I
every time
understand.
she's on screen, I'm just a fucking wreck.
Yeah, but no, it's been good. I don't think the 90s movies were great. Like
This one's our
the guy who
favorite.
I am a Star Wars nerd. I love them all.
I don't know,
mean,
the 90s
granted,
ones were
the 90s ones were
Alright.
very cheesy, but I love it.
yeah.
I am a cheese
Angela's first
lover.
tweets for Pedro Pascal, somebody said.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
I'm just
Yes,
tweeting my man. Am I allowed?
You are.
Somebody
I support it.
Daddy in the chat. Valid. Yeah,
The Last
he's
of
in
Us.
The Last of Us.
Don't
He's
even
also in the
get me started. Just
Well,
woke me
speaking
up.
of you supporting your boyfriend with Star Wars, have your friends and family, obviously your mom is very supportive. She's here right now. We love to see it. But have your friends and family always been supportive of you wanting to be in the goth subculture and like dressing the way you do and everything?
Primarily, I'm very, very thankful that I have a supportive family. Like all of my immediate family is pretty supportive.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I do have I have this one aunt who like slut shames me all the time to my mom.
What?
And again, I don't know if it's like a content making thing or if it's modeling or whatever, but she would do like these very vague Facebook posts like,
oh God,
I would never let my daughters do a boudoir photo shoot, or I would never let my daughters insert something that I posted a photo of me wearing the exact same thing.
That's so lame.
But she's not a blood relative, and like she's just bitter, and she's like bitten by the whole thing. And she's not very smart, so I don't take it very personally.
That's good that you don't let it get to you.
Good, yeah.
No, and it's like you can't, and
because it could be hard, but especially when it's your family. But at the same time, it's like when you're confident in how you look and your
she's married
style.
to a little cousin of mine. It's like okay, but her daughters are very sweet, but I don't think she's going to be invited to the wedding. My boyfriend and I have talked about maybe getting married sometime in like the fall of like next year.
Oh my God!
So I don't know if I've actually ever mentioned that, but surprise!
Breaking news.
We aren't engaged just yet, but
You're talking about it. It's nice.
You're soft engaged.
Talking about it. Yeah.
Soft engaged.
Soft engaged.
We get
Hell
the
yeah.
promise ring.
We did the speed. One of his friends called this. Excuse the term. I as a bisexual woman, I feel like I am allowed to say U-Haul lesbians, because he moved in with me very quickly. And it was kind of just like.
I have a U-Haul lesbian.
Yeah, but they're saying that he was like a U-Haul lesbian. With me so quickly, but it was just right for us, and it's actually really funny because Austin and I did a couples Q&A on my YouTube about a month into us dating, and then we did a Valentine's one, and I had to delete and block about 4 people because people were being miserable. And somebody was saying that he looked like he was using, which is like a really crazy thing.
Hell no.
Not appropriate.
And he's not. Like, he would be getting help if he theoretically was, but he is not.
That's not something you say to somebody. That's rude.
They were saying, Austin, what else were they saying? They were like, it's not going to last. Or they were saying, oh, he's pretending to love her so that he could have a place to stay.
Goth girlfriend, and it's like, dude, I've been going to punk.
Or he wants a goth
shows
girlfriend, and it's like he's been going to punk and
time.
hardcore shows since before even
Like 16 years.
like 16 years, and so it's just like I think there's a lot of people who are bitter that they can subscribe to a woman's spicy link, but they cannot physically date her. That they cannot have that woman.
Yeah.
And it's just it is what it is, but it's funny because it's like I am the happiest that I've ever been, and this is the most healthy relationship that I have ever been in, and I don't intend on ever leaving it. So that's really all that matters. But like I literally had to block like 4 people from being allowed to comment on my YouTube channel, just because my mom says I love his guts. Just because there's people, and that's a sad thing, especially about being like a woman or even just a feminine presenting person. If we're talking general terms, on the internet, is people think that you owe them things. And I'm sure y'all have definitely been through that, but it's like, I'm not on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram 24/7. I have a life, I work, I do things. I have to run errands, I have to go out of a house, and I'm a person at the end of the day, and I'm a huge advocate in treating people with kindness just because, you know, a lot of people are not kind, and a lot of people in online goth spaces can be very cliquey and very, like, can be bullies. Like, literally my mutual yesterday, I'm not going to name the name of it because I'm not going to give them any not credit, but I'm not going to
Give them the time. You're not gonna
give them the time in the day. But they were, first of all, posted a meme that was anti-Semitic, and then they claimed they didn't know it was anti-Semitic. This is like an alternative meme page, like for goth and alternative type people. And then they attacked my mutual for, you know, calling them ugly and shit and posting about it on their public Instagram story, calling them fat, calling them ugly, all of these things. And this is coming from an alternative person to another alternative person. And it's like, we should not be at that point.
No.
And I'm like a really big just advocate for just being nice to people. Like,
Yeah.
there's been
It's
times
unnecessary.
where I wasn't medicated and I was manic and I would argue with people on the internet, or I would put shit on my story, like back when I didn't have like a lot of followers, and I thought that was like the right thing to do. And now I'm just at the point where it's like I just block people and say, hey, don't do this. You know, if it's bad enough, I'll say, hey, you know, don't do this. That's about it. Be nice.
That's all you can really do, you know, and it's unfortunate.
There's enough bullying, and you do not know what that person is going through.
That's absolutely
Absolutely.
true.
Like,
I say
I
it all
love,
the time.
somebody said I love the block button. Same. I love the block button too, but like there are just people out there who are miserable. Like there's this like alternative anonymous forum. It's like an LOL cow forum, and they've talked about me a few times on there. So it's like, glad to know I'm making it. You know, they don't like that I overline my lips. They don't like my makeup. Somebody claimed that they think that I'm like an elder goth, and it's like, I am 21 years old. I've been goth since I was 13. There's a difference between an elder goth and somebody who has been goth for a large chunk of their life who does not have to be older.
Yeah.
You know, and people will do absolutely anything. They even were like, oh, she's creepy because she hangs out with preteens or whatever. And I have a friend, Ryan, who's 18, who was, I think, 16 when I was 19 in a vlog. And it's like, we were both teenagers hanging out. Like, I don't know how chronically online you have to be to think that, like, as a teenager, you weren't hanging out with people a couple years older or a couple years younger.
Yeah.
And, like,
And I've seen your vlogs.
vibe.
You guys just like hang out, vibe. You like talk about different things. Like you
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing it to be predatory. It's your literal friend.
No. And it's like,
ridiculous.
So
it's like,
people just
I
want
see him
to
like a
hate.
son. I'm like, leave him alone, or people are being creepy. I'm like, leave him alone, you know? And, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just people will try to paint whatever narrative about you, and it's just funny because it's like these people, at the end of the day, I used to let it get to me, but now I'm kind of just like, you know, people, they want to feel better about themselves. And I think that some people, I do think that cancel culture is actually, for the most part, needed and good, because you are able to say, hey, this person assaulted somebody. Do not support them, do not buy their new album. You know, that is a very good thing, especially in the age of the internet, where you can show receipts and, you know, like genuinely bad people like Marilyn Manson,
Yeah.
you know, or Jake Monroe, or people like that, you know, that were alternative musicians or creators or whatever, genuinely did something
Davi
very
Vanity.
bad. Davi Vanity, exactly. People have genuinely done things bad, but in a sense, it's like when you also have people who love to reach and love to kind of make up narratives about you, and it's like, I don't know you.
I don't.
Why are
This
you
isn't a
obsessed
thing.
with me? And I'm sure y'all have probably all dealt with your fair share of online hate. It's kind of just part of it. But I really try not to let it get to me. My mom just said cough, William control cough. Very
I
true.
saw
Do
that.
not like him. Do
No.
not.
Yeah.
We are not fans of his.
He was real. I'm not gonna get into it, but he was real weird and shit with me when I was like 15 and 16, and like I'm not gonna let him
Should be in
live that down.
jail.
He's
Yeah.
done imprisonable things.
But I find that the people who talk the most shit are the ones who are like obsessed.
They
Like,
are.
They come onto your page,
Yeah.
and they don't follow you. They're literally searching your name by memory into their search bar and just saying the most obscene shit, like even if it's not true, whatever. And like sometimes I know it's hard to like not let it get to you because it's like you don't want people to believe something that you're not. And like I mean you can only defend yourself for so long and like just like not give a fuck.
Right.
You know?
Like,
And then
can't argue with somebody under the age of 18 without people being like, you're harassing a minor. And it's like, if you are old enough to start arguments on the internet,
You have to
if
be
you
ready
are
to
old
take
enough,
dude,
to
if you're
fight
16, I'm 16. Like, if you have a lot to say, I'm gonna say it right back.
No, literally, because I agree, Angela. It's like, okay, then don't get on the internet. It's like, I'm not trying to beef with somebody who is 16 or whatever, but it's like, get off the internet, do something, because
I feel like also if you just let them run their mouths just because they're a teenager, like
wanna
you're
play
showing them that it's okay to act like that, and it's fucking not, you know? Like there's consequences. Like if you're gonna bark, you better be able to handle it, you know, because I'm gonna bark back.
Right, or I think a lot of people who are younger in internet drama think I'm the younger one, therefore I'm the correct one.
Yeah.
And that's not always true. It's like you can be old enough to know that you should not say or do certain things, and you still do those things.
Yep.
And I don't want to say I don't have any sympathy, because I do have sympathy, but there's something about kids being raised in a digital age. And I was like 9, I think, when iPads came out. So I wasn't like an iPad baby, and I'm very thankful that I wasn't. And I'm never doing that with my kids. I'm never just throwing a screen in front of their face and going out to the club or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know what most parents do. But I'm not gonna do that, you know. It's, and you know, right, and it's sometimes not even sometimes it's like 50-year-old men.
Oh yeah, that's what it's really weird.
So
They're
much to
awful. It's
They
always
don't
the
learn.
old men.
They literally like will just say the most dumb shit ever. Like as if nobody else can see what they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
and
I literally have had men like comment on my appearance, and they're always like older men, and they'll tell me like, "Oh, you look fake," or the famous. I always get butthole lips, like, and I'll go to their profile, or I'll clap back at them, and I'll just say something really sarcastic, and they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know you would see my comment." Like, okay,
I love
like,
that I didn't
surprise.
even see it. People
like, so you're just speaking
What
into
did
the
you
void
think?
for what? You
Can I
know,
tell
like,
you,
what's the point
like,
then?
One of the worst things is like this. It's horrible and great at the same time. The Twitter For You page. Like I love scrolling on it because I get to see things. I see people I don't normally interact with, and I'll be like, oh, I can follow that, or topics. But every once in a while, because of where my Twitter goes and my TikTok goes, like I'll end up on a page where like I will literally see people on Twitter or on TikTok talking about me and not even adding me, just like my name, and I'll be like, oh, okay, this
I go,
is
hi.
fun. Like, okay, and then I'm like, I don't want to go back on that page ever again.
Yeah.
It's never really nice things. But then it's like one of those things where if I were ever to respond and like try to like have an honest civil conversation,
You're still the villain.
I'm the villain because they've already made up their mind that they don't like me, and that's okay.
right, think what you want to
If
think.
you don't like
right.
me, that's fine. Because listen, no one's gonna hate me more than I hate myself. but also
Mhm.
I'm my biggest fan and I know I'm fucking great. So that's just a sad loss for you.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
And there's no point in trying to convince people to like you anyway. You know,
No.
it's like, why do I want you in my corner at that point?
Right.
Yeah.
But
There's no benefit to it.
that is a thing. She wants to know, do any of you have an opinion on older men who fetishize goth women? It is 100% a thing.
Oh, it's
So bad. So
Big
bad.
girlfriend memes like that's the death of me personally.
yeah.
Fit into the criteria, it's like even worse, I guess. But it, it's really gross because like I remember like I dated alternative guys and an alternative girl, and I've also like last year, I told Austin about this. Last year, I went on a few dates with a few guys a little bit older than me who were normal, just because I was like, I don't know, why not? Maybe they're nice people. Who knows? You know, I don't like go after alternative people solely necessarily, but who truly love them. And I think a lot, and I have considered making a YouTube video about this topic, kind of that whole phenomenon, but you know, it's this fantasy, it's the fact, or it's not the fact, it's the idea that if a woman is goth, you know, she looks like what I do, then she's going to be insanely kinky and she's not going to have any limits, and you can
Yeah.
you want her, not going to say no.
100%.
And I remember being young as 13 and men like at the mall like tugging on my choker and like acting like it was a sexual thing. And it's like, I'm in 7th grade, like
That's horrifying.
It's horrible. I feel like, you know, as, you know, an alternative person and obviously predominantly women, although I know it happens to men and non-binaries and whatnot as well. You know, we get fetishized everywhere we go. And like, even when I was a teenager, it was so like, it's still really bad. Like, even if I'm like at work or I'm going to the store or something, like I get harassed or I get strange comments from men. And, you know, my inbox on every social media is just random men fetishizing me. And I'll get messages from guys that are like, oh, well, you like to video chat me while smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, no, like the fuck? Like,
For free?
It's just, yeah, literally. Well, they'll offer to pay me, but I'm just like, I don't want to satisfy you.
Still, it's just
I don't want to make you happy. That's my problem.
I hate seeing men.
That's literally my issue. Like, that's why I don't have any pages, because like I don't want to make men happy, even though I would be a lot better off financially. I'm just spiteful. But it's horrible. Like, you can't go anywhere as an alternative person. Like, even if, you know, you're not wearing chokers, you're not wearing chains or harnesses, like you could just be in a plain black, you know, very minimalistic getup and people will still act very strange towards you.
Right,
It sucks. Literally. It sucks. It's lame.
But I don't know. I'm kind of glad that I have a boyfriend that I can, you know, walk with when I'm out and about, because, you know, people don't approach me the same way.
It's true.
And, you know, I definitely like trying to use dating apps. This is before I met Austin. We met at a Wawa, by the way, but like convenience store.
I love that.
We were on break at the old hair salon I used to work at. Used to be near a Wawa, and I saw him. While he
See,
was
that's
really
a love story.
Love at first night.
We just started talking, and you know, I asked for his number, and
Gosh, bold.
and I've never done that before. I told him, I was like,
Never.
I'm not trying to sound weird, you know, but
Not at all.
I never have done this before, right? But you
I
know,
love that.
Wawa catering for the engagement party.
Yes,
My mom said
absolutely.
Hell yeah.
we must.
Correct.
But yeah, but it's definitely a very real thing. I've had men say really disgusting, degrading things to me, even when I was a minor.
Whoa, I feel like
they
it
don't
was
care.
worse.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like now, I don't really like get hit on as much.
And we know exactly what type of people those men are.
Yeah, like
I
William.
don't know if I can say the word, but we know
Control time.
Yeah. Literally,
So
the amount of
bad.
men that stopped talking to me once I became an adult was like insane.
But
It
why?
makes you lose
Like,
confidence,
I think
you know.
not only
It's
like,
less exciting.
It's
I don't
like-
know.
Less
Like,
Like,
oh, it's legal? Oh, I don't want
That's
it.
yeah,
sad.
now I don't
I don't have to
anything
worry
like
about prison. Ugh. Whatever. On to the next one.
So horrifying.
It's messed up.
Ew.
It's really sad.
Well,
It's really
on,
sad.
On that note.
Next
Yeah,
question.
do you wanna do this?
I really want to ask this one. I feel like we kind of like went
Ask
over most of
whichever-
the
yeah.
questions.
Yeah, then ask
You know,
one that you want to, my love.
Where is
My
it?
way.
When did you first begin shaving your eyebrows off? Was it an easy
Okay, so I have a
decision?
Oh my
story.
god,
It
Angela.
was an easy decision for me because I am insane, and I was not this past January, but the January before, I was formally diagnosed with bipolar 2 and BPD together, which is hell, by the way, for any of you at home who are wondering. I am medicated though, but for a long time they thought I had like regular depression and that I was just quirky, like having manic episodes, and it's like no, that's mania. That's a
Like,
very
a bit
serious.
more.
But I watching a lot of goth YouTubers like Toxic Tears and It's Black Friday, people like that. Drac Makins, she unfortunately no longer makes content, but again, as long as she's happy, that's all that matters. You know, the amount of content you produce does not say anything about your mental well-being, really.
Absolutely.
But she decided to step away from YouTube, so I respect that decision. If she ever came back, I would 100% watch her. But she also shaved her eyebrows, and it just, I was getting really into like drag at the time too, like drag makeup.
Yes.
And I also, I had my dad's eyebrows, and my dad just has like just these big blocky thick caterpillars, and they weren't exactly flattering on me. And like I remember when I didn't shave them, it was so much just maintaining them, just because, you know, ethnically from where people in the world on my dad's side family, or my dad's side, it's you know, dark thick hair. And I didn't want that personally. Like I never really liked them, and so it was an easy decision for me. I remember I shaved kind of the tail ends of my eyebrows, and my mom, I was 14, and my mom at first was like, "Oh my God, how are?" And not really like, "Oh my God, I hate it," but "Oh my God, you know, what are we going to tell your grandparents? You need to fill in your eyebrows every time we see your grandparents."
I'm the same with my grandparents.
But you know, they're just at a point where I don't think they care. They don't really like tattoos or anything, and I have, you know, 3 of them, only one of which is kind of big, is my Robert Mapplethorpe on my back. Not everybody knows who he is, but he is very important to me, so he is chilling on my shoulder.
Love that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it was an easy decision for me, and I don't regret it at all. I love it. It's one of my favorite things about me, and my boyfriend thinks it's very adorable. That was one thing.
Justin won't let me shave my eyebrows. Like, he's like, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your body, but don't shave your eyebrows. And I'm like, okay. I was like,
You're like, okay, I'll
alright.
just draw them as thin as
But
possible.
he doesn't understand. Now I have to, but I have to wait for him to go on tour, and he's gonna come home, and I'll be like,
Surprise!
Hey.
Yeah.
that's how 90% of my decisions get made. He tells me to, like, if I'm in bed chilling with my makeup on and I haven't, like, gotten my makeup off, and he's like, you haven't washed your makeup off. Well, I'm like, well, now I'm sleeping with it on, fucker, because you said something. Like,
I hate sleeping with makeup on.
everything he says, I have to do the opposite because I am big brat.
I feel like that's
There's
just
a
the rules of
mental
marriage.
illness that my boyfriend, there's some sort of obstinate defiance disorder, he just said, but he like genuinely has it,
No way.
and it's put him in some bad situations in the past. I'm not gonna say like what, obviously, for like privacy reasons, and just because it's also not strangers' business really, but he does have a very obstinate defiance disorder, is where you have like a genuine problem with authority, and it's a mental illness in itself. Like it's that bad where it's in the DSM-5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I learned
So
something
he's
today.
not like being told what to do.
So he's like punk rock by nature.
Yes, he's like biologically supposed to go to hardcore shows. Like
That is so crazy, though. I didn't know that was like a legit
I didn't know until
mental
recently.
illness. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. What is the next question?
Did we
You can
hit
cover a lot,
the
so
fridge?
if you want to pick one.
Yeah, I kind of skipped through some because I
Oh.
feel like we touched on like majority.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are your favorite makeup products right now?
Ooh,
yeah.
okay. So these are One Size Beauty lashes. That's Patrick Starr, not from SpongeBob, but the makeup artist. He has a makeup brand.
Love him.
I just feel
Yes.
silly saying that the lashes are from Patrick Starr's makeup brand, but it's called One Size Beauty. And I don't know, Hell Bites Beauty is good. I have a code with them. If you use code Mamie Hades, all one word, all lowercase, you get 10% off your order. So if you want to support us
Yes.
and kind
Link
of
it.
helps me, it is Hell Bites Beauty. And they have beautiful, like 25 millimeter big eyelashes that are cruelty free,
Oh, nice.
foam mink, so no
Yes.
animals, no animal testing. They're beautiful. I used their stuff even before before they reached out to me. I used a ColourPop blush today. I got 3 of the Valentine's blushes. I try not to buy too much makeup, but it was such a good price. I love ColourPop. And they're little heart-shaped ones for Valentine's. And this one is really pretty. I had to get 3 of them because they're heart-shaped, and also it's ColourPop, so it's not like
It's
not like it's buying a
very
Mac.
expensive, yeah.
Right. But I love that. I use the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof eyeliner forever, but this is the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner.
Oh, that stuff's
that's what
great.
Really?
It's so good.
Wow.
That stuff is great.
Woo!
Bless you.
Thank you. Sneezing in false eyelashes feels so weird.
Oh my gosh.
Word,
so true.
He just was bending down to do.
It's like a weird sensory overload that just happens all at once. Yeah, the Epic Ink is really good. Someone in the chat said that they liked it. I think I like it kind of more or equal as the Wet n Wild, and then Black Moon Cosmetics for my lips. I kind of refuse to use any other brand than Black Moon Cosmetics at this point for lipstick, just because like I tried the KVD one and it wasn't like black enough for me, and I didn't like how
Yeah.
it felt.
It's not like
KVD is-
opaque black,
No, it's
really.
not.
Yeah,
It's a little
KVD is
streaky.
amazing. Like I use their foundation, and their products in general are really good. But that one I'm not a fan of. But I would say the Black Moon Cosmetics. I think it's called Sleepwalker is the black liquid lipstick shade. And I love it. I have the House Labs highlighter on. It's more subtle. I would say the Fenty one
Ooh.
the Fenty one is like when I need a blinding highlight. I like that one. But the House Labs, I was like, I don't care if it's $40. It's Lady Gaga. I love her.
I love her.
Yeah.
It's very sweet when people a lot of people will say that I look like her when I don't have makeup on, which is very kind.
Ooh.
Ooh.
People
would
on TikTok keep
Happy
telling me that I
tears.
look like Goth Fran Drescher, which I kind of.
I love
That's a sleigh.
That is such a compliment.
I was like,
I
see
love
that
her.
and but I get Gaga and Winehouse comparisons like when I don't have makeup on, which is very kind.
They're both
Um,
so stunning.
Very
Yeah.
I
So
love
beautiful.
iconic women.
Mm.
yeah, but
How long does it
Yeah,
take you
those
to
are
do
the
your
ones that-
makeup usually?
normally an hour and a half, 2 hours at the very most,
Wow.
really. But normally
That's
like
quicker
an
than
hour.
me.
That's true.
Yeah.
I procrastinate, to be fair, but that's quicker than me. And your makeup's a lot more like, I feel like a lot more goes into it because yours is very much like a distinct
I do the
look.
same thing every time, pretty much, and people are like, "Oh, you should try different," and I'm like,
No.
'Cause I don't like change. That's like a weird thing about me is I've looked like the same for a long time, and I don't really.
It's your signature look, you know?
And I don't really see it, changing. And I had a makeup artist in Philly talk about doing my hair and makeup, and he was like, "I'll keep it goth or whatever," and I was like, "I am so sorry, but I don't really want anybody else doing it like as a model. It's kind of my look." And like he also which is fine. I normally with photographers when I model, it's in exchange for being a part of their portfolio, so it's just like free on both ends. That's typically how it works. I have done a couple of paid photo shoots with photographers, but really very few. I
feel like with alternative modeling, that's more common than not to do like trade-off shoots.
Yeah. I always do trade-offs for the most part, but this one makeup artist, he is so talented. He's in Philly. I will not say exactly which one, obviously, but he told me it was like 600 or something, and I was like, you're very talented, but financially, I really cannot do that. I really try not to spend over $100 on a photo shoot, or 200. I think the most I ever paid for it was like at a bed and breakfast, and we did a boudoir shoot in 2021 there, and it was like I checked online because I recently did a boudoir shoot, and and we ended up doing a cheap Airbnb. The photographer paid for it, but the bed and breakfast, when I checked, it was like $270 or something. And I don't recall it being that expensive when I did it. Maybe I did, and I was manic when I booked it. Who knows? Ago, I don't recall. But I try not to do that. But yes.
So you say you're in PA.
Yes.
I would love to take pictures of you. Listen, there's this Love Hotel, and it sounds
I've heard of it.
It's in the Dove.
Like,
I've wanted to shoot there. I've wanted to shoot it in the Dove. It's like it's in Cherry Hill, I think.
Wait, it may be it. So yes, and then there's
heart-shaped hot tub thingy.
Oh my gosh! But listen, it's called the Feather Nest Inn. They have like this pink room. It's super like vintage looking, and they have like a gold mirror and like a gold setup and the heart-shaped little jacuzzi thing tub. Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Yeah, definitely message me. I have a lot of like free days coming up. I could honestly do it next week, even like earliest.
Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Oh my gosh, it's
I am living. I am living.
Probably like split the.
I have no friends. No, I'm just
probably
kidding.
like split the
my
cost
pictures
of the
right here.
room.
We can split it.
Because the photographer for the boudoir shoot I just did, he paid for it, but it was like I think only like $80 or $70 on Airbnb. And it's funny because we got there and it looked bigger in the photos, and then we got there and it was just not very good, but the photos turned out good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's really good. But I've been, because I hadn't done boudoir in like 2 years, and that's like my favorite type of photo shoot, just because yes, the KVD contour kit is really good. I use that today. And I also use a gray from a ColourPop eyeshadow for like this part of my cheeks. I don't bring it fully down, because no hate to people who bring goths who bring the gray contour like almost to their mouth, but when you contour too close to the mouth, it becomes Muppet territory, as I like to say. Like you start to look like a puppet. You know, or like sometimes like if people get like a bunch of cheek filler, then you start to slowly become a puppet, and that's not really like the vibe I'm going for. But yeah, no, the KVD contour palette is really awesome. My mom wants to know where all of y'all are and what would it take for you to get to Philly.
I'm from Southern California, and it would not take much for me to go out there, because I've been wanting to see more places.
Yeah, but I just want to like vlog with everybody and make videos with everybody. But yeah, Angela, I would love to shoot together. You can like DM me after this. I'll definitely be awake. I'm drinking a Monster right now. This one is so
Awesome.
good. I call this the cocaine Monster because it's white and it just like wakes you up like
So
suspicious amounts. You know, you're like, what are they putting in there? I don't care.
I would love to see what you guys create together, honestly.
Yes,
Like,
but
you're both so
And we
talented.
will come to
been
Philly
meaning-
anytime.
yeah,
I've been
we will
meaning
all
to-
travel to Philly.
We will all
I've been meaning
come.
to do a couples shoot, or like a couples hotel style, like that kind of kitschy 70s. And I think it would just be so good to put like somebody who looks like the way I look in the hotel.
Yes.
But I think that would be a lot of fun. Austin could come and help if you need his help with anything. He's very
Oh yeah.
cool.
You'd hold the light.
Reflectors.
Reflector.
I
Yes.
love that.
I also kind of want to go to Atlantic City for my 22nd because my 21st I went to where my grandparents live in New Jersey and it was okay, but I don't know. It was kind of one of those days where not a lot of things go right and I like cried a lot, but my best friend was there. But I was okay, but it's just so many things just kind of went wrong, and I think maybe next year I just kind of want to go to like Atlantic City or something and stay at like a corny like casino hotel.
Yeah.
That'd be so
Yeah.
cute. Hard rock.
Not necessarily gamble, but just like I just have to be there.
No, yeah, I get it. I think we're gonna do one more question for you because then I want to make sure we do like the deep dive into like Goth 101 and all of that.
Yeah.
But I guess what advice do you have for anyone who's like wants to get involved with the Goth subculture, wants to explore their individual style?
Yeah, I get this a lot, and honestly, first and foremost, listen to the music. I think a lot of baby bats focus, like especially now with the internet, focus way too much over whether or not they have clothing items from alternative brands, which is cool, which is fine. I do have some stuff, but most of my stuff is secondhand, whether that is from a thrift store or if it's from Depop. And I think a lot of people worry way too much about the aesthetic, and you can look like I look and not know any goth music, and that does not make you a goth, as it is a music-based subculture. So I would say listen to the music, listen to goth music, old and new. Remember that you don't have to only listen to goth music to be considered a goth, as long as you do listen to goth music. I like stuff that is not anywhere close to goth as well, but listen to the music, be kind to each other, and also try. I also tell baby bats, because a lot of them do focus on the look, because the look is really exciting, to be fair.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
try your best not to buy from fast fashion if you are able to. I think sort of a commodification of goth. Like, obviously, there's nothing wrong with like Killstar or Devil Fashion or Blackcraft or anything like that. Like, that's all fine, cool, whatever. I have some Killstar pieces. I have some Punk Rave pieces, some Devil Fashion pieces. Punk Rave very kindly mailed me some stuff about a year ago, and it's all very beautiful quality. But go to Goodwills, go to local thrift stores. That's what I was doing when I was 13, is I was going to Goodwill and other thrift stores in my area and, DIY things. Like, this used to be tights. This is from a thrift store. The skirt I'm wearing is from Depop. This and this are from Amazon, and I just
so much.
buy from Amazon. But thank you. And then the little Mamie name necklace my mom got for me, maybe on Etsy or something. And then she also got me this little coffin ring, which I believe is from Etsy. But I would say, yeah, listen to the music. Remember that goth stemmed from punk. Too many goths love to conveniently forget that one. And they'll say, oh, it's not inherently left-wing. I can be a Trump supporter and no. It is like, that is like saying like, I don't know, like I can't even
Yeah, I can't even think of something because it's so wrong.
But it's just like it's like, you know, remember where the values came from. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking, but remember, you know, where the values come from, and remember, you know, anti-racism, anti-homophobia, anti-transphobia, stuff like that you need to carry with yourself, because you can wear all the eyeliner in the world, but that does not make you alternative. You know, it's also a mindset. And I think that, you know, unfortunately, it feels like maybe once a year or so there is a goth content creator who does get outed. I remember I used to follow some guy, I can't even remember his name, but he turned out to be a neo, it rhymes with Yahtzee. Not sure if
Come on.
he was very proud about it. I think last year, what? I have one. But yeah, thank you. Another monster.
Taking care of you.
Yes, but and just people being bigoted with their whole chest, and you followed them all this time, and it's just like a letdown, you know, because it's like you can look that way, you can listen to that music, but also, you know, try to have an open mind and try to remember that, you know, also goth is not like a white person thing. I've had people ask me that. People say, I would love to be goth, but I'm afraid it's a white person thing. And it is not, you know, it's for anybody who wants to participate. And I'm very sorry that there were some people that made those votes that it is not for everybody. And it 100% is for everybody. And I think it's important to, you know, just be kind to each other, listen to music, share band recommendations, don't gatekeep band recommendations. You find an awesome new band, tell your friends about it. That's what I do. You know, I'll share on my story, I'll say, hey, I found, you know, this modern goth band, check them out, they're really good, I really like this album. And, you know, I have people trying to pay me to use their music in my YouTube videos, and if I hate it, I'm not going to accept that $50. You know, it's like, if I think it's garbage, no amount of money is going to change that.
Right.
We love the authenticity.
It's like, and I don't promote or any makeup brands that I genuinely don't like, I will not work with, you know, or any clothing company where I'm like, no, like I've thankfully never been contacted by like Dolls Kill or any corrupt or bad alternative clothing company, but it would be an
How about Ghost Jewels?
I get those DMs.
Oh my god.
You can't escape it.
Funny.
No, my favorite one is because they don't have, like, there's a clear language barrier, but there's one of them, they call themselves Jew Goth.
Yes!
Oh, I get them a lot.
What are you doing there, friend? And they're like, you know, like jewelry, Jew Goth. And I'm like, it doesn't
Oh my god.
I've been getting contacted by them for like the last 2 years, and I'm just like, it ain't happening, you know, like,
no,
I don't want it. I'm sorry.
It's from like Etsy, like a small business or an antique
They like
store.
steal it, and it's like the shit that AliExpress or like Shein steals from, like you said, legit creators, and it's so stupid. Like I ain't taking that.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that. Austin gets that, my boyfriend. And he's a private account, which is funny, and that's also another thing I hate about being.
Follow him? Will he let us follow him?
He has a private account, but if y'all DM me, I could send his profile. But he gets a lot of people requesting to follow him, and I had to put something on my story like 2 separate times where I said, "Hey, I make content, I model, I make videos." My boyfriend does not do that. My boyfriend is somebody who does this, but he does not want people following them that, you know, they do not know. You know, they don't want that. And that's perfectly valid, and he deserves all the respect.
Absolutely.
100%.
You know, but he has people constantly asking to follow him, and I've gotten to the point where I just don't tag him in some of my photos occasionally. You know, or if I do, I'll say, hey, on my story, please don't request to follow him. You know, he doesn't want random people. You know, you might think he's nice and cool from what you've seen in the YouTube videos, but like, again, you do not know him. He is not a content creator. His girlfriend is, but that, you know, doesn't mean that he wants 50K Instagram followers.
They probably want to see you too. They want another view of seeing you. Because
and it's like,
as much as it sucks, that's half the reason I have half of my followers is because people are trying to see Justin in the background
into your life, right?
Which is weird,
right? And people get weird, people get invasive, people get parasocial even.
Yeah.
And I did, when I put that on my story not too long ago, I said, you know, it is very parasocial to you feel almost entitled to follow the partner of somebody you follow. And there's some content creators who do not show their partner. And there's some people who still try. Yeah, Dolly Parton. He's just some
example.
I love that. He's just like some brunette guy. He's just, you know, whatever.
Like you would never know if you saw him on the street.
Right. You wouldn't be like, oh my God. And like, I don't know, Austin maybe, because, you know, he has 2 face tattoos. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, but yeah.
I respect that though, you know, it's his boundary. And, you know, instead of him like thriving off of the attention of like, oh, I'm her boyfriend, you know, he's just like, no, I just want to keep my social media to myself and my friends, you know. And I honestly, I love that and I respect it so much. And I feel like a lot of people just don't understand it because we've been conditioned in recent years to want to share every aspect of our lives. And, you know, it's important to keep at least a little bit of privacy, even if it's your partner, you know, like the world doesn't need to know everything.
I do tweet about pooping a lot, though, so sorry about that.
I would like to know more about that, Shay, but, you know,
dropping dunks.
And with that, let's do a nice little deep dive into, we've already covered a lot. I think, Mamie, you hit the nail right on the head. Goth is a music-based subculture. What are, you've mentioned quite a few, Bauhaus, Sisters of Mercy. Like, what are some that you really love? Some that we've heard of before and maybe some that we haven't?
I really lately have been listening to a lot of like Voodoo Church. They're like a female-fronted goth band. I love Specimen. They're an 80s goth band. Christian Death, again, the Sisters of Mercy. Sisters of Mercy is like my favorite goth band of all time, just because I think they have this certain sound that's very theatrical, and like as like a former like theater kid, it really resonated with me. And Mamie lore, but you know, Vision Video, Secret Shame, Soper Atnus, and the Ensemble of Shadows. Long name, but amazing. Versinger is a trans woman, and I think eventually I would love to make, I do goth band recommendation videos, and I would love to do like LGBTQ goth bands. Like maybe I could do that for Pride Month. Cool.
That would be amazing.
Just, you know, or I just want to cover goth band recommendations for, you know, every type of person, for, you know, inclusivity. And I recently did a part 2 of female-fronted goth band recommendations, just because a lot of goth bands, let's face it, are some guy with a deep voice. And that's awesome. That's cool. I vibe with it. But it's cool to see women also, you know, have more, exactly. And but I think I'm always going to kind of continue to strive to sort of make you know, goth related content, and also not I do have a Spotify, but it is linked to my Facebook, and I don't want people knowing my last name. So thank you.
You know what? Maybe in the future, maybe we could like work with you, and you could help us build a Goths Next Door Mamie Hades recommendation playlist. Like you could like tell us some, and we could make a public one separate.
I would love that. I could start drafting.
Yes, such a good idea.
I would love to do that. So I would be honored. Because
you are definitely the one. Like I'm one of that you once upon a time let me follow that playlist, and I listen to it all the time. Like once upon a time, I asked you, I was like, "Can I please have access? I promise I won't be weird about it." And you were like, "Okay, don't tell anyone." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even have it." And I listen to it like, I'm not even kidding, like at least once a week on my drives. It's a good driving playlist.
I love that.
Sasha, Angela, Melissa, do you guys have any favorite goth bands?
Ooh, The Cure.
The Cure.
I love
God,
Cure.
The Cure.
I know it's so
There's a
like.
South Park episode about how like Disintegration is like the best album of all time, and like,
Disintegration has always been my number one. I feel like The Cure 1,000,000,000% because they were like the first like goth band I ever heard, and just really got me into the subculture when I was a little kid, and so they'll always have a special place in my heart. And The Cure, and I mean, shit, I feel like Sisters too, just because I love their very distinct sound, you know? Like, you hear the beat and you know that it's Sisters of Mercy.
Yeah. I'm so excited to see them live.
I am so jealous.
Yes!
Awesome.
That's like $300.
Where are they playing?
I don't have, so.
Yeah, where are they playing?
Yeah, where are they playing?
My favorite band of all time is not a goth band, but it's Creeper. Creeper is not goth.
Oh, I know Creeper.
Alternative rock with a kind of rockabilly vibe to them, but alternative rock.
So great. I love Creeper.
But Will's like their singer is like a very big goth music fan, and a lot of people in the band really like goth music. I'm waiting for them to come to America. I would love to interview them. That would be really iconic.
That would be
They're,
amazing.
they're kind of like a goth adjacent band. I feel like there's a lot of bands that like are just
Goths like them, but they're not goth.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
Like it's not goth, but enough goth people like them where it's almost goth by association.
Yes.
I feel like that's how, like, even Johnny Cash, like, he's country, but he's been embraced by rock and roll so much that he's like, he's a rock star, you know?
Mhm.
That makes sense.
So true.
So what are some misconceptions that people have about goth culture?
That we're all depressed.
Yeah. We are not all depressed. Well, okay.
Depression, I don't know her.
I mean,
I don't know about y'all, but
I mean, but me.
Oh no, wait. Oh, we just outed ourselves, didn't we?
some of us are very happy.
I don't like the stereotype that we're like all Satanists, because like I mean,
Yeah.
there are some of us that are, but like that's not necessarily like all of us. Like I don't like if you ask me, I don't know anything about the Church of Satan. I can't speak on behalf of it. I have nothing against it, but like I don't do anything with it, so I can't like represent it or tell you anything about it. So when people are "Oh, you're a Satanist," I'm like, "No." Oh, well, I'm just wearing a pentagram. I know that's like probably like a symbol, but like for me, I'm just like, this isn't necessarily for me trying to say I'm a Satanist. There's a lot of shock value to like a lot of the things I wear, because like I wear some black craft shirts that'll say like I'm wearing one right now that says like "fuck the Westboro Baptist Church," which actually I do get behind that message.
True.
Hold up, I do. Okay, but for the most part, like you know, there's like sometimes there's like certain assumptions, or like they'll be like, "Oh, so you're like a vampire kid who like drinks blood." I'll be like, "No,
No, we are not that.
I'm not
Oh, I
that
hate it.
person.
I hate
I
it.
don't drink
No.
blood. I mean, if you want to, that's
We don't say we're vampires on the internet.
Or in real life.
okay.
Yeah.
And like that's okay.
What
but
bad stories? You know, when I was 13, maybe, but no, not anymore. No,
yeah.
I was Mrs. Cullen.
Oh.
No, fuck no.
Me too.
Yeah, but I wasn't I wanted to be Emmett Cullen's wife. Emmett
I
was a
loved
bitch.
Emmett. I was an
smashed.
Emmett girl.
Emmett was hot.
When in the one scene where he's like, "Come on, babe, it's just a game," I literally like pants were off.
Why am I naked?
Why? What? Why am I naked? All right, next question.
What are I guess what are some of like the goth subcultures? I know there's like or I guess like aesthetic wise,
Some
like
styles.
there's like goth styles of like, you know, trad goth, which made me a very trad goth queen. Then there's like, you know, romantic goth, cyber goth, pastel goth. There's all kinds of different kind of
There's just
aesthetic
different flavors.
flavors. Oh, I love that.
Flavor.
Do you guys
Yes.
think of any more?
Death rock.
Oh
Death
yeah.
Rock is cool. I really like one that has the word goth in it that is not goth is like whimsy goth. That's like a fashion style, and it's basically like indie girl.
No.
It's sort of like Stevie Nicks fashion.
Yeah, but not like
Huh.
goth. But it's like I watched this one fashion YouTuber. She's so sweet, but she's like very blonde and very far from alternative. And she was making like whimsy goth outfits, and it's like indie, like 90s alternative type thing, but cyber goth, romantic goth, vampire goth, fetish goth. Really,
Hello Kitty and Invader Zim.
Yes, those are. Oh my god, that's like all of our middle school.
was
goth
so,
was,
like, emo
Invader
and-
Zim.
yeah,
Loved
yeah.
it.
Vampire goth is like the elegant, like 1800s. Normally, like you see them, and it's like
It's like very
dark red
Victorian.
lips
I
and
love
like middle part
Victorian
black hair,
goth.
corsets, that type of thing. But I don't know. Trad goth has personally always been like my personal favorite, and it doesn't make you more or less goth. That's something I hate is people assume sometimes other very elitist trad goths will assume that I am an elitist trad goth because I am trad, and it's like, no, it's like it doesn't make you more goth. It's just a different type of goth. It's
It's
just
just one of the
flavors,
styles.
like you
Yeah.
said.
like
Like
trad was technically like the first wave of goth, and so a lot of people associate the goth look with that, you know, but it's not necessary.
I feel like that's another misconception too, is that you have to be trad to truly be goth, you know? And
that is not true.
yeah, I used to know somebody that was like that. They were a friend of mine for a while, and they had that mindset, like if you're not trad or death rock, then you're not really goth, you know? And they were very elitist about it, and I was just like, can we not, you know, like we all love the music, we love the subculture, like let's just enjoy it.
It's not a fashion
And-
show, you know.
yeah, like it's not, and that's another problem is people think you have to be dressed to the nines, you know, and you don't, you know, you
Right, and like especially like, and I am pretty transparent about this online, but like I do live with fibromyalgia, and there really are some days where like it really genuinely hurts to just do anything, and that's a really huge reason as to why I started wearing wigs, is because I can tease other people's hair, but the motion of above my head doing that for long periods of time really does agitate the joints of my wrists. And so, you know, that's kind of why I do what I do. But, you know, just, I can't do that every single day. I mean, with jobs and work and jobs and work.
It's a lot to put yourself through.
You know, with life, you don't have to do it every single day, and you don't have to feel like you aren't truly goth if you don't dress up that day, because at the end of the day, your music taste isn't going to change when you have makeup on, you know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's really funny
And
too.
also, I feel like if you make it where you have to have certain fashion items or certain makeup, that's extremely exclusionary to people in different incomes. There are some people who simply cannot afford getting even clothing at a thrift store even. Like that's truly not an option, and they shouldn't be told, oh, you're not goth, because they don't have the finances at that time to be able to buy clothes. If they're loving the music and they love the architecture
That's all
and
that
everything.
And the
Like-
people who listen to the music and don't dress it are more goth than, you know, kind of the Instagram models who are
Oh my gosh.
who use the goth girlfriend thing to get followers who don't know who the hell Bauhaus are. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I sound like a hater, but it's like, it is what it is. I call
Oh,
it.
you're right.
I
It's
think you're being
true.
a hater.
It's
I feel like
that.
you're being a realist. Like you're being honest. because
Right.
it's something that you're passionate about. This is a subculture that we all are a part of, and then one of the big things is being inclusive. But if you want to be inclusive and like understand the culture, you have to know where it came from, and it came
Absolutely.
from a music subculture that came from the punk roots. Like there's like
Right.
you need to know the history.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have to like all the goth music. You don't have to like
Right. You don't have to love every
exclusively
single
goth
band.
music, but
I've met goth people who will say, "Oh, like I love goth music, but I don't like this band as much as I like this band," or they could stuff like that, where it's like, okay, that's not a big deal, and I think people have more resources now, and I'm not old by any means. I'll be 22 in August, but in my day, it was really just YouTube. And now, like, we didn't have TikTok. It was Musical.ly, and I never used it when it was Musical.ly. But now there's so much content on there to help you get into it. And, I strive to be a part of that. I strive to be part of the reason where people can find stuff on that app. And I love fashion videos. I love makeup videos. I do that too. But I also, find it important to do band recommendations. And I made a video on my YouTube where I talk about, what is goth, the history behind it, the history behind the word, the history behind, what was it? What was the Batcave Club in England? Who are Bauhaus? Who are the Cure? Stuff like that. That's just, important. And I'm glad that people have kind of gone back to giving music recommendations and DIY tips. I love fashion so much, don't get me wrong, but for a while there on YouTube, it just seemed like, here's a $500 outfit, and then now you're making people that think, great, now I can't be goth because I'm not rich. Like, and that's not how it works, obviously, but
Exactly.
And a lot of my shit is thrifted, and I've gotten a lot of my mutuals and people who follow me to try out thrifting and find good things because they see me doing it. And I would eventually really love to make a YouTube video where I show some of my favorite things that I've gotten secondhand, just to show, like, you can find really cool stuff. Last time I went to the thrifts, I went to a few in one day, and I found a pair of Vince Camuto heels, and those are normally, I don't know how much, but definitely at least like $100, and I got them for free. So the thrift store, if anybody watching this lives in Philly AIDS Thrift is amazing. They give most of their money to AIDS and HIV research and helping people in the area who do live with those illnesses. And so it's like a nonprofit, and they have really nice things there. I also went to Goodwill. We also have one on South Street, which is like our main fun alternative street. It used to be more punk rock before I was alive, and I never got to see that. But my mom got to experience it, so she got to tell me about it. But someone said Hot Topic is their go-to. I really haven't bought from Hot Topic in a long time. I bought a Bauhaus shirt from them maybe a year ago.
I haven't been into a Hot Topic in a long time, but I feel like every time I go through, I drag Justin in to be like, are you on the wall? And he won't be, and I'll be like, this man sucks. And then I drag him out.
Are you on a shirt?
I'm like, are you on a shirt? No one fucking likes you. There's 3 Taylor Swift shirts. You need to be more like her, and then I drag him out of the store. You gotta keep him humble.
Period. Humble him. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't shopped there in a while. It just kind of reminded me. I used to shop there a lot in middle school. It was like Goodwill and Hot Topic was where I was getting my stuff. Then I guess Amazon a little bit, but that my mom said, you did great, baby. Those girls are so nice. I have to get some sleep. XOXO. Okay, love you.
Aww, good night, Mama.
We love her.
Good night.
But she is so
We love a supportive mama.
Ichabod is on the couch right here.
Bye. I do know we're going to be wrapping, just so the audience knows, we are going to be wrapping by like in 20 minutes, just because I've been up up since like 6:30.
Oh wow.
And now Sierra's literally FaceTiming me. Fuck. Okay, there's a lot going on. She's gonna have to wait, girl. You gotta wait. You're not answering a FaceTime on stream. But what else? Oh, goth representation in media. So anytime I go anywhere and I'm like wearing like black lipstick or I have platform boots or something, people go, "Oh my god, you look like Abby from NCIS." I don't. Like I don't have but
I don't have pigtails.
no.
My face.
What other goths do you see in the media that like everyone recognizes?
I get Elvira a lot, but big hair, big boob, it's bound to happen. Morticia sometimes. I've never been compared to her, but I think her name is Andrea. She was in Daria.
Oh, yeah.
Off. I think they did a really good job with like her character design. I've been compared to Henrietta from South Park.
Not Henrietta.
Her, but I don't think we act similarly. Oh, this is Edgar.
Hi, Edgar.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
I wish I could see him. Oh,
He has a really large head and little legs.
I bet he's so cute.
Such a ham.
He is.
I hear
You're
like
so-
all the time. Also, Ellie Nash from Degrassi, Janice Ian
Okay.
from Mean Girls.
Janice Ian. I look like
Yeah.
Janice a lot.
I like Janice Ian.
I love Janice.
She's a bad bitch.
She is. But that one,
Sasha, you get Elvira a lot, right?
Mhm.
I get Elvira. I get
Well,
called
Morticia.
Elvira more than I get called my own damn name.
I
But
got called Elvira on my way to work, and I wasn't even all done up. I was like,
Really?
damn, I'm just
I get it constantly. Even when I'm at work, people will be like, "Oh, you got like that Elvira look," and I have like short hair with like a white streak, and I'm just like, I don't look like Elvira. I'm flat as a board. Like, come on now.
Thank
I
you,
get
Justin,
Elvira.
for 10 subs. Thank you.
Yeah.
for
Thank
showing
you.
up, husband. I love you.
Thank you, Justin.
Oh,
I get Morticia and Vampira a hell of a lot. So I mean,
my
it's bound to
friend-
happen when you got long black hair.
Yeah, my friend Christian, who's photographed me twice. He's toured with Motionless in White and Black Veil Brides, and he's doing a podcast with Ricky in a few days, I believe.
Wait, Christian, the same Christian that we hung out with in Florida?
I think so.
Sasha's Christian?
Oh yeah.
This is a small
Yeah.
circle. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I love
Christian
that.
We know each other.
Yeah, he's photographed me twice, but I'm super, super proud of him. But I think he's doing a podcast with Ricky in a few days.
Oh my
that
god.
is so exciting.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Christian?
We all need to like all
Sweetheart.
hang out and reunite because I haven't
Oh my
seen
God,
him since
yes.
like, 20
He's
late
such a
2020.
sweetheart.
So
Or no,
he's coming to Philly with
2021.
us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah.
comes to Philly.
Well,
Or we go to Florida and have a Disney trip.
Trip.
Yeah.
Fly
Someone
to
said
Philly
it was like
again.
Walter White if you went to a Cradle of Filth concert. I love that image. I love that visual.
Oh, that's so good. That is
Those
so
were such good concerts.
I wish I could have gone.
They were good times.
Oh my god, my back. Making me feel old. My back. My body could handle that. Let's see. What else do I have on our little topic? Oh, all the time people ask about, especially for me because I work a corporate job, even if it's not like a super corporate. You can't trust anything. Like it's a pretty progressive university, but how do you like dress goth or bring part of that aesthetic or part of your authenticity that you want to wear like on the weekends and stuff? How do you incorporate that into your like everyday style? I always say just
All
find like
black.
really great staple pieces that are all black. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Iconic staple pieces, because also staple pieces will never go out of style, and
Yes,
you can
yeah.
re-dye your black clothes if you get quality, not fast fashion, but like quality black clothes, and they fade because they will. You can re-dye them black a lot of the times. Not
Yeah.
always, but sometimes.
Like
you
Rit
can.
fabric dye
Yeah.
is really good. Just a plain Rit dye you can get at a Walmart or a Joann. It's really good. I dyed a baby pink nightgown black one time. with that, and I got my nightgown for like $2 at Goodwill. But you know, just also if you go to like a thrift store and you get stuff for work, you know it's gonna last because it's in a thrift store. I mean, check the tags and make sure it's not like Shein or Forever 21. But I've found some really good quality stuff. I'm looking over at our coat rack, and I have a leather jacket that's like real leather that I got when I was like 16, I think, and it has a creeper patch on the back, and it's real leather. It was definitely probably well over $200 when it was, you know, new, and I got it for maybe $60.
Damn.
And I've had it for years. So stuff like that, like you can find things that are made really well. Yes, somebody said tip for the dye, make sure you buy the dye that goes with the type of fabric of the clothing item. There's like nylons and like polyester, like you need to make sure you're getting the dye for that specific thing. But
and then read the directions if you need hot water, if you need to add salt or anything like that. It goes per fabric.
On the stove, like a witch, that's the best way to do it, like a cauldron. Or like I feel like an Italian grandmother making like a big thing of gravy.
Babushka.
or a Slavic grandmother. I mean I got both of it in me. I got both. I got that. What is that really stupid meme where it's like I got that dog in me? Where it's like don't call me bipolar. Say I got that dog in me or whatever.
Yes.
I don't even know that one.
It's all. And next time I see
it's a good
meme, I'll send it to you. But yeah, no, you can get really good things like at a job that I'm no longer at just because the boss was genuinely that terrible. But it was a very high-end salon, and so I had to get some nicer things that I just didn't own. And I went to a Buffalo Exchange, which is like a chain thrift store for those of you who don't know. And I found some really, really nice quality stuff that I wear even outside of, you know, working. Like if I'm just running errands and I need to throw something on that looks nice, I'll do that. Somebody said also if you use one of your kitchen pots or whatever to dye shit, don't use it ever again for food. That is true. You need like a dyeing pot and a cooking
pot. Yep.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to all the little baby bats out there, and what's one thing you would say to your younger self that you wish you knew?
We're holding up this picture of young Mamie. What do you have to say to her?
What would you say to her? I would say for younger me is don't let bullies get to you because you will be more successful than them one day. I hate to pat myself on the back.
No, but you should.
No, you deserve it. Come on.
Really,
you work hard.
Like, I work my ass off and it pays off. And what are they, like, literally, I don't know what half of them are doing. More than half of them. Like, I simply do not know. But they know what I'm doing, obviously. And advice for baby bats: listen to the music, educate yourself on the subculture. Definitely watch my YouTube video where I talk about what goth is and the history of it. It's only I think 11 minutes or something, so it's like a pretty quick watch. It's not like you got to sit down and watch a movie. Treat people with kindness, say no to bigotry, and if for some reason you have any of those thoughts, really try to unlearn it, because I've met people who maybe used to think a certain way years ago, and then they educate themselves and they're like, wow, I was so stupid. I can't believe I thought that. Personally, I've always been really like open-minded, like literally.
But we have to unlearn things that we've been ingrained by society.
Right. And there's certain like little itty bitty things, where time changes, and it makes me happy. Like I have a bunch of little cousins, more Mamie lore. I have so many little cousins because when I was about 10, all of my adult cousins started having kids, and so like at Thanksgiving now there's so many of them. And Austin, we all love Austin. They're all like playing basketball with Austin. It was so cute. They loved him so much, and they're like, can you come over for a sleepover? It was so cute. And it just makes me feel good, for that kind of generation is, everything is becoming, more inclusive for the most part. I mean, there's still bad things that happen in the world, but things are getting more inclusive and more open-minded. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing. And, goth, there's more new goth bands happening. Like for a while, it was pretty stagnant. It was pretty like whatever. And there's also people saying, oh, people nowadays couldn't possibly make real goth music. And it's like, look at Vision Videos, Secret Shame, Soper Aternus. Well, Soper Aternus are formed in the 80s, but they still make music to this day. And they started when they were quite young, I believe. But there's just so many, Scarlet's Roommate. I cannot speak. Oh my goodness.
You're doing fine.
Corpus Delicti, Christ vs. Warhol. These are all modern goth bands that you can check out. I would love to make like a playlist of y'all. That would be awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
There's a lot of modern goth bands now that are starting to, pick up more. There's one from Philadelphia that I would like to shout out called Goth, 2 words, just goth twice. They're really good. They are Philly local. They've been really kind to me. And just shout out to them. They're great. But, get into the music, try to thrift your things, try not to do fast fashion. I know fast fashion is so accessible now, and it is tempting. And I think it's fine to buy like tights and stuff like that, or like a ring, like little things. But, I think a lot of people don't even try to go to their local thrift stores to see what they'll find because they don't think that they're gonna find it. And like I've literally been like hand over mouth with some of the stuff that I find. I'm like, oh my God, is this, I can't believe I found this. And I definitely want to make a YouTube video where I show my kind of, oh my God, I can't believe I found this type of thing.
I've dropped all of your links in the chat, throughout the chat, and we'll tweet them out later. I know I, for one, really have to pee.
Okay.
And I like to announce it on stream. I will be the bitch that announces on stream. So I'm so honored. I'm like dancing with you. But I'm so thankful that you came tonight, Mamie.
I'm so thankful
so much.
You invited me.
It's so amazing. Such a wealth of information.
He had so much to say too, apparently.
But Ichabod is right here, but he's asleep. He looks like Garfield. He's like a big orange tabby.
I love an orange cat.
It's our guest stars.
He's like Kingsley.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta
He's
find
like
mine.
Kingsley,
I don't know
but
where
like-
he is, which kind of actually makes me wonder if I left chicken out or something like that. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm gonna go downstairs and really
I'm vegetarian and like we don't cook meat in the house, so thankfully they don't really bother us. But like even with like the Beyond Meat, they still think it's meat.
Right.
Like I don't know if they're dumb or smart for thinking that it's like meat,
They're just excited and supportive.
Thank you so much, Casey. I'm happy that
I
you
see
thought of me.
ADHD
My
Goth
best
in there.
friend.
Hi.
That's my best friend.
We're getting you on eventually, by the way.
Yes, we got it. I would love to like be like a co-guest with Casey. We would have way too much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
I support it.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for this evening. Thank you again for coming. It's been amazing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
It's
much.
been so much fun.
And thank you to everyone who hung out with us. We love having you guys in the chat.
Yes, thank you. And of course, big shout out to Redcoat Kez for being a hell hottie. And
Absolutely.
Justin gifted 10 subs. He's the winner this evening.
Thank you, Justin.
You know what that means. See you next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. See you next Tuesday.
See you next
And
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.